Hey everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel once again. This is your friend Abhishek, but not a financial advisor, and today we are going to talk about two high growth stocks which could be undervalued for the year 2025. And what are my particular actions regarding those stocks? Well, we will get onto that at the end of the video. So let's talk about the stocks, because as you know, the market has been running quite high based on the AI hype. Okay, now is that really a hype? Well, I don't particularly think so, because some stocks are still a bit undervalued who are dealing with AI, but some on the other hand might be overvalued. Now let's talk about of two such stocks which I do believe might not be on the hype train for the year 2025. And those two stocks are Upstart Holdings and Cloudflare. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so the first stock, guys, is Upstart Holdings. So guys, at the time of recording this video, UPST is trading at $46.75 with a P ratio of 179. Now, you guys might be thinking that, hey Abhi, the P ratio is at 179, then why the hell you are talking about this particular stock right now? Well, the reason is that this P ratio for UPST has been this high since a long time, but the forward P ratio for UPST right now is a bit different and is telling us another story. So the forward P ratio for UPST is just sitting at 19 based on the predictions and the projections from the market, and that's the reason why I am talking about this particular stock right now. So first up, as you know, UPST, it's using artificial intelligence, and what it does is that the traditional banks use a credit score, this we know, yeah, and they decide who are applicable for the credit and who are not. And if this data is outdated, then the AI model from UPST looks over 1600 data sets and like their income, their job history and education and spendings, and then gives us an information, or gives that particular bank an information if this particular candidate is credit worthy or not. So this actually is quite helpful, and even in Germany, I know that many banks are using such AI tools. Of course, in Germany, these AI tools are not from big companies, yeah, but this is picking up a lot of hype, and there is going to be a huge competition in that as well. So we will just quickly talk about the growth and the recent results, because in this video I will not go too much in depth. If you would like to have an in-depth video, then do let me know. So now, as we see, these are the recent quarterly earnings. So Upstart had a tough 2022 and 2023 year. This we already know, and this we can also see from their quarterly results. So as you can see, the 2022 and 2023 year were not that good, and this was especially because the interest rates went up and loan and demand dropped sharply. Okay, so this is temporary, and that's why I'm covering this stock in this video. But in their most recent quarter, in the quarter 2 2025, revenue jumped by over 25% year over year, guys, and this is something to consider. Okay, and the company also made $1.3 billion, so this is kind of interesting in my opinion. Now the other important part is how the management is actually dealing with the current results. So management emphasized and highlighted that the Upstart's AI model accuracy keeps improving, defaults have dropped, and partner banks are starting to trust their platform again. Okay, they also added new auto lending and small business loan categories, expanding their total addressable market beyond just personal loans. So this is what the management said right now, and we have to see this in the current quarters or the upcoming quarters if this will actually happen. So now some bullish thesis, in my personal opinion, which I do believe are in favor of UPST. So first of all, huge market. So as we can see, the personal loans and auto loans and small business lending make up to $4 trillion in the total lending volume in the US. Okay, that's a huge market. Now, other important point is the better risk prediction. So their AI system can cut default rates by up to 40% compared to traditional scoring. This something is worth talking about. So I do believe that UPST might have an upper hand from their competitors. So leverage to lower rates. So if interest rates fall in 2025, then of course the loan originations could surge. And this is the main reason of picking up this particular stock and talking about this particular stock, why this could be a good opportunity. Operating leverage: as volume scales, margin could expand rapidly, so not a problem. And AI tailwind: strong investors' interest in AI related companies could, of course, keep the sentiment high. But that's all with the bullish thesis. Now let's talk about the bearish thesis, because that's something which is also concerning. Heavily dependent on interest rates. So UPST like companies are heavily dependent on interest rates, and that's why the stock price is fluctuating a lot when the interest rates are changing. So when the interest rates are high, the loan demand falls. When the interest rates are low, the loan demand rises, and therefore UPST's revenue jumps up as well. Credit risk: if their AI prediction fail, that is a bad sign. Okay, just to let you know, this is a bearish scenario. Profitability is still small, as we can see that the profitability is not that great for UPST right now, but eventually I hope this will improve, because if the interest rates gets cut, then we will see the same pattern what happened in 2023-2024. So we can see these were really good years for UPST. So now the business has become more efficient, I would say, especially when the interest rates drops. So I do think that UPST will take advantage of that. In the earlier years, you can see that that it was not performing that well, even though the revenue was huge, the cash flow was totally a disaster. But as the business scales up, the business becomes more efficient. So I am assuming that UPST will definitely prove themselves to be quite efficient. So competition, of course, legacy lenders like SoFi I would say could be a competitor for UPST. So this is another really big position in our portfolio. So yeah, this could be a competition for UPST as well. So that's all with the bearish and the bullish thesis. Now let's talk about why we should invest in UPST. Is there any future for the stock price? So the P, like I said, the average P has been 131. So this is quite unreasonable. So we will go on with the metric of price to sales. So the price to sales for UPST is currently at 4.45. Okay, so now let's talk about the valuation part. So the analysts are predicting an EPS of $3 to $4 or $5 until 2027. Now the P ratio, as we saw, at 130, which is not that reasonable. So we will not take a P ratio 130, but rather a P ratio of 50 would be reasonable, depending upon the growth of UPST's earnings. And if we, of course, multiply it by 3, we get a price target of $150. So this could be one of the price targets which I believe can happen. But if we take a lower end of even $2, then also we make a price target of $100. And that's one of the reasons why we are talking about UPST right now, because this could happen with UPST and the price could double. Now, what is my personal take on UPST? Well, the current valuation for UPST is still a bit expensive from my personal opinion. From my point of view, I would like to see the cash flow improving for UPST, and when the interest rates are cut, and then I would really like to see how the quarterly results improve in a low interest environment, and then I would be sure, okay, that UPST is definitely improving in a low interest environment. And then if the price still stays at $40 or $50 even, I would definitely open up a position. Now let's talk about the second stock in our portfolio which we have bought, and that's Cloudflare. Yes guys, NET, Cloudflare. So at the time of recording this video, Cloudflare is trading at $200. So as we know that Cloudflare runs one of the largest cloud networks in the world, currently trading at $200. It helps website to load faster, helps with cybersecurity through its content delivery networks and web security services. But what really is exciting about Cloudflare is its new growth, Cloudflare Workers. Okay, what is it about? They have a serverless platform, okay, which lets developer deploy applications at its edge, closer to users without managing any servers. It's really amazing, guys. It's really amazing. And this really attracts me as a user or as an investor for Cloudflare. So now let's talk about the growth and recent results for Cloudflare as well. So in the last quarter for Cloudflare, the revenue grew by 30% year over year to $360 million. And with improving profitability, their free cash flow margin was around 12%. Okay, this was a big jump, guys. This was a big jump, which was nearly around zero. So this is amazing. And the customer grew by 190,000, with large enterprise customers driving most of the growth. So this tells me that they are not targeting just the small customers, but the large enterprise customers are also adding up for Cloudflare. Okay, now what the management really emphasized. So the CEO Matthew Prince emphasized that Cloudflare is moving beyond just networking. It's becoming a full cloud platform that can compare with the AWS and the Google Cloud, of course, in specific workloads. They also highlighted strong demand for zero trust security as companies shift to hybrid work models. So this is one of the really good bullish points for Cloudflare. Now they are actually at par with other big cloud platforms as well. So this brings me up to the bullish cases. So massive TAM. Okay, the TAM is huge, and the total addressable market is around $135 billion, which is amazing in my personal opinion. And this is huge. Okay, consistent revenue growth, which is around 25 to 35%, and now even the margins are improving. And new product adoption, so Cloudflare Workers, R2 storage, and Zero Trust are early in growth phase, but eventually they will catch up, and we will see that in the coming quarters as well. Now, strong recurring revenue. This is one of the best bullish thesis which can happen for any other company in the market. So 90% plus retention and steady customer base. Amazing. Top tier management and execution. So management has been executing quite amazingly, and my bets for a particular company are always on the business model as well. Of course, the efficiency of the business, how the management is actually investing their capitals, and the efficiency of the business, which is all about management. So that's why my bets are always on the people of the business as well. Now, some bearish case, because every business has a bearish case scenario as well. Valuation still premium. Okay, I do agree. The valuation is on the higher side. Competition from giants like Amazon, of course, and Google, Fastly as well. Tech spending slowdown. If corporate IT budgets tighten, growth could slow. Okay, now execution risk is a bit tricky part, because now they're transitioning more from CDN to full cloud platform. So it is a risk, but of course we don't know until it could turn profitable for Cloudflare. So this transition and risk could be actually profitable for Cloudflare. We have to wait and watch. Now, if you consider the DCF model for Cloudflare, the free cash flow, like we saw, that it has been increasing, it has been picking up drastically. So if we take 40% as free cash flow, until 2030, they would have to generate $1.1 billion into free cash flow. Now, do you believe that it is possible? I believe that this might be a bit optimistic, and that's why I will take 30% into free cash flow. And with that, they would have to generate $770 million into free cash flow until 2030. Now, in my personal opinion, that could be achievable, but what this gives us is a compound annual growth rate of just 6.75% and a fair value at $172. And the future stock price would be just 38% from its upside. So now what's the conclusion? UPST, like I said, we are still waiting until we see some improvement in the low interest environment for the business. For Cloudflare, we do have this particular business, like I said from the beginning of this video, in our portfolio, but with an average price of $110. So we are up by almost 100% on Cloudflare. Okay, but are we now actually buying this particular business? As you see, from my personal point of view, this business still needs to prove to its investors that it can generate a premium for its investors. So from this particular model, from my predictions, from my assumptions, 30% free cash flow growth rate and to generate $770 million does make sense, but that doesn't give us a good potential price target for the future. My personal strategy for buying any particular company would be to have a double in at least 3 to 4 years. Okay, because that would give me a compounded annual growth rate of more than 10%, which is to beat the normal global market indices. But in this case, at this price, I would not say that Cloudflare could be bought. That's my personal opinion, not a financial advice, but that's it, guys. So these were the two stocks which I do believe has high growth potential. One of those, yes, could be really undervalued, but in my personal opinion, we should see how the company reacts in the low interest environment. And the other company, we already had it in our portfolio, but at a really cheaper valuation. At this price, I don't believe that this is a buy, but yeah, it's up to you. So I hope this research helped you guys, and if it did, please subscribe to the channel and gives it a thumbs up. And yeah, I'll be coming up with some more videos regarding particular stocks, and if you guys have any particular stock in your mind, then do leave a comment in the comment section. I'll definitely try to make a video for that. So that's it, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay safe, stay happy, and ciao.